Congratulations and welcome to the show. That's right, I'm Bad Brad and I'm bringing the flow. Cause it's Saturday night and you know we feel all right. And that's why I'm here to tell you, congratulations for making it here tonight. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is the greatest lo-fi show that there is here on YouTube. This is it. Congratulations, you have made it. You have passed go. We're confidently moving into the second month. Dude, Paul, what's happening, brother? Erickson, everybody that's here, bro. We're confidently moving into 2025 lo-fi and superfly. Giving it to you live. XJ Bomb. Woo! Woo, dude. We're bringing it to you live. The Cantina of the Mind. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Cool Ramon in the house. Yes, indeed. Now, XJ is in the house. Yes, indeed. Glad to have everybody here. We're getting started early, so get those thumbs up. Let's get it rocking and rolling. We just got the Red Bull cracked. Oh, they're going to have to. Jane leaves is, okay. Dude, Freddie B, how you doing? Mike Holmes is rocking the wrench. Paul is rocking the wrench tonight. Look, CC is here. Hey, the gang is all here. And man, thank you. Thank you to everybody. What's happening, Keith? Thank you to everybody that's tuning in, man, because this is this is sort of our little revolution. This is sort of our community and a family. And man, you know what? We got great things on the horizon. I just did yes, indeed, Mike. I just did an interview with Pat McDonald, drummer for the Charlie Daniels band, CDB. I did that interview today. Good friend of mine, Pat McDonald, incredible drummer. I mean, dude, this guy could play anything, dude. And is it up, Erickson? Is it up yet? On my end, it's saying it's still like upscaling to 4K, and it's going to take 3 or 4 hours. So I don't. Okay, it's not up yet. Yeah, it's literally like trying to upload. I think YouTube is going through a little glitch right now with the upload. I may have to re-upload and do all that. Yeah, he was an incredible drummer, still is. But some amazing stories about Charlie Daniels, and then we talked about the time that Charlie Daniels, let us says they come get me on the bus, and I'm 5 or 6 beers deep, and they're like, Charlie wants us to get up and jam, and like, okay, and you run off the bus, and the dude literally hands me Charlie Daniels Custom Shop R9. I'm literally got his guitar strapped on. I think it was like pretty strapped up pretty high, and plugged into the Mesa Boogie Mark I he had since the 70s. And we talk about that story and so many amazing stories. And it's another interview where we leave it and we say, look, this is amazing, but we're going to have to do a round 2. I'm going to start doing with these interviews, and especially the incredible ones. I'm gonna start doing round 2, so you'll start seeing some of these guys, because a lot of them really want to come back and do more. So if you've done an interview on this channel, man, expect me to reach out and have you on for a round 2. But I am actively trying to bring in more interviews. So that interview, it's in the process of uploading and all that stuff. But tomorrow morning, an amazing interview with Keith Howland, the lead guitar player for the band Chicago for 27 years. Man, does he have a story to take, and the history that me and him have, back in the day, and being roommates and going to the same college and all that stuff. So yeah, Rudy was awesome, and we had some great interviews. So tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Keith Howland, the lead guitar player for Chicago for 27 years, interview is going to air at 8 a.m. tomorrow. But man, everybody watch that interview. Yeah, so that's going to be amazing. Yeah, I need to. Where is P Funk? Is P Funk here tonight? I know Dave has to work tonight, but I would love to have P Funk on. We'll see if, yes, 8 a.m. tomorrow, it will debut, and that's Eastern Standard Time. So if you stay up all night, it'll be 5 a.m. on the West Coast, and you can watch it. Or, you can watch it anytime tomorrow, but it will be available 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is a great interview as well. So we've got the Keith Howland tomorrow, and then in the can is the Pat McDonald interview, and that was today. And he actually lives in Sarasota, so he's just south of me. And I'm gonna have to go hear him play. Go see one of his afternoon gigs that he's doing, and that's another contact if we want to do, a gig. Maybe we book a Clearwater, Bad Brad and the Breakfast Dude Burrito Club Brunch Burrito Dudes World Tour. Maybe we book something down there. Who knows, man? But it's another connection for this channel and ways that we can grow this. Yeah, 7 days a week, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, new video every morning. And then sometimes there's random lives. You want to subscribe to the channel. You want to get the notification bell, because you never know when I'm going to pop in with some new information. Now I'm waiting on the Enya Nova Go Sonic guitar to arrive here. And when that arrives, that's going to be a new demo on the channel, and I can't wait to try it. I've never played a carbon fiber guitar with a built-in amp and built-in tones, clean, overdrive, and distortion. So that's going to be interesting to have something I could just keep. I think the greatest thing about this is you could have it on your couch and just pick it up and hit the button, and boom, you've got your guitar sound right there. You don't have to have an amp. You don't have to have a cable and everything. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. And man, there's just amazing things coming down the pike, man. I just know it. I know it. I feel it. So, man, thank you everybody for being. Wave is all the way from Thailand. Our friend Wave is joining us here. How is the peppers over there tonight? What spice level, Wave, do you eat the Thai food at? Do you eat traditional spice, which is very spicy? Yeah. He is over there. We're going to strive in 25. That's what I'm trying to tell you, everybody. Chris H just came across your videos and subscribed. Thank you so much, Chris, man. We're doing this organically, man. Every single person that subscribes, I'm still at the point where I pretty much reply to everybody in the comments. I try to, keep it very personal. It's still a very tight-knit group, and hopefully, it'll blow up, but I'm still going to work hard to keep in contact with everybody. Wave eats it spicy. Right on. I'm retired now, do some work for my old rock friends and family. Right on, Mississippi. P-Funk is here. P-Funk, they're requesting a P-Funk interview. P-Funk, can you operate Zoom? Here's the question of the night. This is the $10 question. P-Funk, can you operate Zoom? Let's see. Earl, how you doing? Woo! Right on, Chris. Virginia, what part, brother? Right on, Freddie, so you don't have to get up. See? That's the secret. Kung Function. That'd be a good name. Wasn't there was a Confunction or something like that. There was a band name like that. Hey man, and I will say, you grew up in Richmond, Hampton Roads, dude. Hampton Roads Coliseum. I saw Elvis there twice, bro. I saw King Edward there as well, bro. Funk Compunction, yeah, exactly. I may have done a Zoom call back in the day. Well, P-Funk, well, why didn't you tell me, sir? Sir, why didn't you tell me that you'd be Zooming? I did not know that you could be Zooming, sir. Sir, please, son, inform me, son, that you can be Zooming. Please, sir. I implore you, sir. All right, well, that settles it. We're going to have the P-Funk interview, and P-Funk, you just let me know. Text me. We'll convene on this. So look for the P-Funk. Here's the thing, man. The P-Funk interview, you might have to be a member to see that. We might not even be able to release the P-Funk interview. So this is a membership drive. It'll be P-Funk and Sweet Johnny D interviews, and those will all be in the member section, because you're gonna have to be a total member to hear what we have to say. Yeah. I think we should, maybe that's the start of the Patreon page. I do have a Patreon page that I don't use, but Patreon seems to be as long as you join, you get the unfiltered stuff. Maybe that it's time to do that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I will absolutely, P-Funk. Yeah, we'll do it when you're ready, bro. Yeah, it's $3 for 30 member videos right now. And man, some of those videos, I don't know if I'm ever going to release some of the ones that are in there now, because it's really kind of just it's inside information. These are stories that people could maybe guess who I'm talking about, or the people I've had many people reach out that says, I'm the guy that was this in the story, and I had to check this out. So I had a guy the other day talking about the Shock House, sent me an email via Facebook, and I think his name is Dylan. And I don't know. Dylan says that he was a kid living in the Valley, and he became friends with Jamie and Greg from Shock, and he was 15 or whatever, and they gave him flyers to hang out, and so then he would go out with them and help them hand out flyers, right? Which is very handy, because having youth people helping you with that stuff. And apparently Dylan used to crash. He says he used to crash on the Shock House couch, and he was telling all the stories, and he said I was very, kind to him and everything, which I'm like, dude, all I wanted to do was have a good time back in those days. So he was very complimentary about me and how I treated him, and he's telling stories about how he woke up one morning and our drummer was drumming on his head, had sticks on his head because he had passed out in the living room. Well, then he tells me that his friend Pineapple. Now, do I remember a guy named Pineapple? That sounds crazy, but he claims that they were walking with Greg somewhere, Pineapple and this Dylan guy and Greg, our bass player, and he said, "Oh, well, Shock," and he says, "Shock's done. We got to change the name." And he goes, he says, Pineapple said, "What about Boy Elroy?" And claiming like he had come up with the band name. So, and that's, maybe it did. Maybe that's how it started. Greg heard it, then told management, then management decided to run with it. And, look, dude, I wasn't thinking about copyrights or, trademarking names or any of that stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was thought of like, hey, we'll own this name, and then I'd be just an employee. He's the one to blame. Yeah, ain't that a shame? I was just watching that Cheap Trick. Ain't that a shame? Yeah, well, that's my recollection from my perspective is they came in to rehearsal with the gig and said, "Here's your new gig, and here's what the name you're going under." But imagine if Pineapple and Dylan were walking with Greg, threw out that idea. Greg goes, "Well, that's kind of interesting." Tells management. Management then says, "Yeah, let's go with that." And do this whole thing without even dealing with me. Maybe they didn't want to deal with me. So, who knows? Who knows? There you go, Chris. Yeah. So it's I had to try and remember it. Do I remember this guy? And at first, it didn't sound like so. But then again, man, I was new there, and people were always crashing on the couch, and all kind of stuff was going on. So, man, who knows, dude? Who knows? There were people that came and went out of that house, uh, on a daily basis. Half the time people would come and you'll hear about it the next day. "Oh, well, dude, you should have got up. So and so came by, and you mean those people? Yeah. Oh, they were here all night, dude." And you just, it's like, dude, I had to take a night off. There would be nights where I just go in my room, lock the door, and just hide. Yes, indeed. We're refreshing. We're enjoying ourselves a cold beverage. I said a cold beverage, sir. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm having myself a little cough drop. So, what do you got going, guys? What do you guys? What does everybody want to talk about tonight? Let's woo it, dude. Dude, man, this is going to be awesome. A woman I work with asked me if I. Okay, that's FMP. I cannot, sir. We can, bro. FMP. We PG in here, sir. Sir, please, sir. FMP, please tone it down, sir. Sir, please, sir. I understand, sir, that you may have been asked a rather strange query, and I don't mean any pun intended query, but sir, please, sir, we are trying to be PG. We do have some ladies occasionally in this channel, sir. Please, sir, please. That's a rather strange query that you said there, sir. It's a rather strange one, sir. Yeah, I would imagine it would, FMP. That would be strange. Yeah, she's strange, but I like it. Second band, yes, he has. That plays like butter. Cheap Squire Telly plays like butter. Hollywood, hey man, Keith, you can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. Right? That's what they say. Oh, that's tangy. That's tangy and delicious, sir. Yes, indeed, sir. All right. All right. So here's the deal. We got lots of cool stuff coming up on the channel. We got 56 people in here, only 19 likes. Boy, I feel like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain is jamming on the brake. It's like I'm driving a Lamborghini, sir, but somebody keeps pulling the handbrake on me when I'm trying to drive it, sir. Yes, indeed. It feels like we're getting throttled back. Nikos, glad to have you here, sir. Glad to have you here. Steve Costa came by Lanewood with his buddy and their friend Zakk Wylde. Yes. Yes, you told me that. So P-Funk was hanging at the crib, and I guess Zakk Wylde showed up with a boom box, and he was blasting the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever. So you do with that information what you will, but I remember hearing that. I remember hearing about, like, he must have been on a disco kick or something that week. I mean, who knows, dude? See, Michael, that's what he was. So Zakk Wylde came over to their apartment and had a boombox and was blasting the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever. Well, you can tell by the way I lose my walk. I mean, boom, 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 right? I remember I remember you guys telling me that, and I'm like, no, I don't think he was wearing any disco clothes. I just think Mike P-Funk slept through the whole thing, but that was like, I remember Johnny D telling us about that. Yeah, he is a force of nature. New York, New Jersey wife, but there are times it feels like I married the Sopranos. Trippy, I understand the feeling, sir. Hey, I'll tell you a Zakk Wylde story. So this is maybe the wildest Zakk Wylde story. This is wilder than some of the ones I've heard, right? So I was playing in this rock band called Teller, right? Now you can hear some of these tracks on YouTube. There's a band called Teller. The album cover, this is how you'll know if you're listening to the right thing. The album cover was this girl with her top off, but she had our lead singer's shoes in front of her you-know-whats. That is the cover of the album. And so he was working at Ruth Chris next to Vanderbilt in Nashville. I think he was just a runner or a busboy or something, right? But Zakk Wylde, it was connected to, I can't think of the name of that hotel. Any Nashville people, let me know. The Ruth Chris is connected to, it's a really swanky hotel. So they were all put up there because Ozzy or somebody they were playing Nashville, right? And this Ruth Chris was connected to the hotel, and it had a bar, and it was, man, you'd see people you'd see Tim McGraw in there. You would see this is a good probably this is probably about 20 years ago, right? It was a little bit different Nashville than is now. And Zakk Wylde came in to the bar, and he was just pounding whatever he was drinking. He was just, and look, this was very much a place you dress up to. For Nashville, it was like fine dining, right? And there's people with money in Nashville, and the old money people would all be in this place. But Zakk Wylde's in there with his motorcycle vest and his beard and his chains and, all of his stuff. And he's just getting hammered. And at one point he had got up and was standing on the bar, and then somebody said he yacked, puked on the bar, and was like just like kind of like lapping at it or something. I don't, man. It was. I remember my friend just saying that was the wildest thing he'd ever seen in his life. At that point, dude, here's the thing. How you think, how can something like that happen? Now, I was not there, so disclaimer, but I'll have to have Casey Shea. He was the lead singer for my band at the time. And I'll have him on to tell that story because that story alone. And so, how does somebody get to that point? Well, when you imagine, like, the wildest country acts, the ones that are really knocking them back and everything, man, you're partying every single night, and dude, it just becomes this one long party. Imagine, Leah, how you doing? Imagine being in Ozzy's band, and you're Zakk Wylde. I mean, they tried to replace Zakk Wylde every time they got somebody after he was in the band, but nobody was Zakk Wylde. You become this, I am Zakk Wylde, and I do whatever I want, and I'm a Viking. I go on stage and I rip my heart out, and I get off the stage and I go, go on a rampage, and so that's how something gets to that point. That's why if you look at the pictures when finally the Pat McDonald interview airs, there's a picture of me on the road standing next to Pat McDonald, the drummer for Charlie Daniels, and I'm flipping the bird, and I got this beard and the hair, and everything, and I'm right there. I'm in Zakk Wylde mode. I'm in full on. I do whatever I want. It's a traveling. I'm the clown in this traveling circus, and it's easy to get carried away, man. It's easy. Now I think about it, I would never act like that. I would never want to look like that every day because people and when you look like that, they expect you to go wild. When you're on stage with a giant beard and spikes and stuff like that, you can't just get up there and gently play a soothing ballad. I mean, you've signed up. You signed the contract for having to go out there and be Bureau, Captain Bureau. Give me fuel, and I will go out there and throw fire. So for guys like that had to clean up and he had to stop drinking, and now he's doing it, and he's doing a great job, and he's playing his butt off. But then that's not easy to sign up to have to be that guy, and then be sober and still get on stage and be that guy, right? No more beers. Yes, Lowe's Vanderbilt. Leah, that's it. So Lowe's Vanderbilt, very nice hotel that has like a pathway to get to Ruth Chris. Awesome. It's almost like you go down the stairs and you can like go into Ruth Chris. Lowe's Vanderbilt. So, back for a while there, before Nashville blew up, that was the nicest hotel in downtown Nashville, and that was the only place to stay if you were some big, if you were a celebrity. We need a place to put up Ozzy Osbourne. Well, Lowe's Vanderbilt. Now you've got all these mega chain hotels, and man, there's these skyscraper like ones, and there's all kinds of stuff. But back in those days, man, it was Lowe's Vanderbilt. And I was talking with Pat McDonald about how Nashville has changed so much, and how he was describing the old Nashville, and I thought about it. Man, how easy it was to navigate Nashville. Pat McDonald was literally in town for like 4 months or 2 months, and he got his first road gig. He literally came to town at the right time. Somebody needed somebody. He was the guy, and then boom. And he had even said himself, he said, man, I figured I'd be, delivering pizzas. I'd be doing all this. No, he came to Nashville and within a couple of months was doing a road gig. And then he says, I had hoped to get one of the big name gigs like a Tim McGraw or Garth Brooks or one of those top tier guys. And he was offered the Charlie Daniels gig. And he thought, well, it's kind of a legacy act at that point in time. But he found by doing the gig, as long as he wanted to do the gig, Charlie Daniels, you're in that band. You are a member of that band. He got health coverage. He got taken care of. He got all of this. And Charlie would say, he'd go, hey, well, your old drummer used to do this fill here. He goes, Charlie says, I hired you to be you. You know what to do. So just do what you want to do, and just let us know what you're going to do, so we'll do it. And he said only one time did Charlie Daniels give him any stage advice, and he just said, now don't lose us, son. He said he literally broke into like some Vinnie Colaiuta metric modulation in his drum solo. And Charlie just looked at him like, okay, make sure we know when to come in. So yeah, Charlie Daniels, man, one of a kind, dude. And that's just teasers for what's in that interview that's going to be up in the member section. If you're a rock star member of the channel, do you think we could see a hair metal renaissance following? This is Spinal Tap 2. Trippy, every now and then I see glimpses. Every now and then I see a young band that adopts the hair metal style, and some of them are pretty good. Some of them are okay. There was a band a few years back in Nashville called The Tip, and they were very good. And they were almost like a 1979 band, like maybe not so much a glam hair metal band, but they were that dirty bluesy 70s rock thing. And those, like just The Tip. Yeah, but the band was called The Tip. And I guess they plugged at it for a little while, and then it splintered off, and guys went on to do other things. But man, a band like that should have been huge, but it almost takes like a band like that has to blow up to allow other bands to go up. What do you got?
I got a new level on Donkey Kong.
Okay, well, here we are. We got a new level on Donkey Kong. She got a new level, bro.
I can't even get past level 1. Don't pay any attention.
I don't even play Nintendo. That's not on my job description. So say hi.
Hi. Don't mind me. My outfit doesn't match. I was just
there's
cold.
Leah.
Hi.
Leah's there. Yes, and there's Freddie. See Freddie. And let's see.
Hi.
And there's Bo.
Hi, Paul.
Oh,
And
hey,
there's
Paul.
Paul.
Hi, Paul.
And there's FMP.
Where is Dave?
Dave's not here tonight.
Aww.
Dave's driving, but his brother P-Funk is here. Can you say hi, P-Funk?
Hi, Pink Funk.
Did you hear that, P-Funk?
Oh.
Joe, how you doing?
Ace is upset. I think he wants to come say hi.
Okay, so Ace wants to. I guess this is the guest portion of the show. Say hi to Wave.
Hi, Wave.
Okay, hold on. She wants a cough drop. She comes in and there you go, dude. Donkey Kong, dude. Erickson, thank you. It's the Mia so Erickson wants a Mia concert. Okay, can you sing, Mia? Can you sing Panama?
Panama, Panama.
Sing it again.
Panama.
That's I don't know if that's $20 worth of Panama, dude. And there's the Acenator.
What about the Eye of the Tiger?
Can you?
I like it for the cow to find.
Hit the high note. I'm the tiger.
Many years,
Right.
it happened so much.
You change your passion for glory. You're supposed to sing that. It's I the tiger, dude. Dude, it's I the tiger, man.
And then here's AC/DC.
There's AC. He's gonna have a little cough drop too.
What's with the cough drops? Oh, I bought new honey ones. You're not eating all my honey ones, are you?
No, I'm not having any of that. Do I have a cat? No, we do not have a cat.
Oh, they think he's a cat? No, he's a dog.
No, this is a dog.
Oh.
All right.
There he is.
All right, y'all let me get back to work now.
Okay, she's going to show me more Donkey Kong.
Okay, y'all go donkey it up.
You want to keep him?
No, I don't want that thing. I don't want that thing.
Oh, but he's so cute. He's ready for his close-up
The
cameo.
eye of the Chihuahua.
Look. Oh.
The eye of the Chihuahua. Dude, P-Funk's, I'm rolling around, I'm dying. Dude, the eye of the Chihuahua.
How come his handle doesn't show up as P-Funk?
Because he needs to change it. Michael, you're going to have to change your name to Michael P-Funk Strong.
That would, yeah.
I have not, Trippy. I have not been to the UK. No, I'm hoping maybe through this channel, maybe the magic of this channel, a magical, mystical world, we'll be able to go to the UK.
Your daughter wants to go to Dubai first.
I don't want to go to Dubai. I don't want to buy in Dubai, dude.
Okay, then we're going to go to
All
Greece.
right,
And
y'all let me get some work done.
Okay, we're going to do
All right.
Donkey Kong.
All right. I don't want to Dubai in Dubai, dude. Why Dubai, dude? I don't know, man. She might have heard me on the Memorex cassette break. Wow, very cool. Eye of the Tiger. Right on, Jimmy. You know, Jimmy is a great drummer. If y'all don't know that. Jimmy Hunter, in the comments there, great drummer. Worked a lot with the guy that I'm airing the interview tomorrow with, Keith Howland. Hey, Jimmy, the Keith Howland interview airs tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. EST. That's 5 a.m. for you. So, Jimmy, I would suggest you go to bed early tonight so you can be up there with us. Yeah, Keith Howland, dude. So, yes, P-Funk, tomorrow morning, dude, the Keith Howland interview is going to go live on this channel. Members will get the Pat McDonald interview coming up. And I'm working on cool stuff, man. It would be 5 Central Standard Time, right? Because it's 3 hours. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. We're 3 hours difference from West Coast. I would love to, Trippy. I would love to come to Liverpool. But here's the thing, man. I've got, it's a numbers game. We've got a good smattering of people all over. Oh, Dave's here, dude. Dave, right on. Glad Dave could make it. So we've got a smattering of people all over the world. But we've got to have concentrated numbers. We've got to build this thing. And now, will the UK embrace the Western Yank, the humor of this Yank? Will this catch on? I mean, look, I guess Rick Beato, people watch, I'm imagining he gets a lot of views over there. So he would be the next guy. If Rick Beato goes to London or goes to Liverpool, and then I follow that pathway, and I'll do it. I was just thinking today, like, I'm probably gonna have to plan to go to the NAMM show next year in LA. Probably gonna have to do that. Oh, that's cool, Erickson. I need to check that out. So, I'm sure they do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Dave said he was going to that concert. Rick Beato has been to Abbey Road. That's right, Paul. Yeah, so he's done it. But he's got what, 1 million subscribers? It's just incredible what he's done, man. I was hanging with Beato at NAMM. Right on, Jimmy. Yeah, didn't you? I think you posted some pictures and stuff. That's incredible. You should have, Jimmy. You should have plugged my channel to him. You should have said, Rick, you need to watch Bad Brad, dude. I've got the stuff, Dave. I've got the stuff, dude. Lynch Mob in a few weeks. Man, George Lynch is still. I think he still sounds great playing his stuff, man. He just played the Machine Shop. Aren't they saying this is the last? Lynch Mob tour with George Lynch. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, dude, I keep looking to see if he's going to play somewhere close here where I can go see him. And I don't see any Florida dates right now. It's tricky having a 4-year-old and going to these concerts and stuff. He's not FMP. He realizes he did more damage to himself with the ROIDSs than he did all the DRUGSs. He said that was far more damaging to his body. And I believe that. He tore his bicep in his left hand. I would imagine Lynch would be pretty loud, but you know what? I've seen footage of him doing gigs where they put a blanket over the 412 cab. So man, they got ways to contain it, but I don't think Lynch is cranking 4, 5, 6 cabs on stage like the old days. I mean, there was nothing like the old days where it was a real wall of Marshalls and at least half of them were turned on. I don't think we'll ever see those days again. Sound guy, dude, and back when I played with that band Teller, this was probably, 2003, somewhere around there. I mean, I remember the sound guy in Nashville just literally having a fit because I came in there with 2 412 cabs and 2 100 or 50 watt head and 100 watt head. And I was going to run basically two Marshall heads stereo. And it sounded friggin' incredible. But man, the sound guy, even before I played a note, did nothing but bitch. Just did nothing but complain and complain. And I finally said, dude, just shut the, you know what? And mix the show, dude. Like, come on, man. I haven't even played yet. And dude, look, I didn't bring that rig to try to drown out the singer. I know how to play dynamically. I know when it's too loud or whatever, I mean, a lot of guys would show up with that much firepower and just blow the band out. But yeah, it's a man that lives 25 minutes away from where they filmed You Shook Me All Night Long. You have a place in UK. Trippy, that's a great post. Now, is it which video? There's 2 different videos for You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. There's the straight shot where it's just them on a stage and they're miming to the song. And then there's the more produced video where they're walking down the street and there's school marms on the street. And then there's this girl with this very voluptuous casabas, and she's out the window and she's doing all, typical rock and roll things. Which video are you talking about? That would be the question. Yeah, we'll see. RHCP, they are a real live organic band. And that is why, whether you like those guys or not, and whether some people can give or take them, but man, it's an amazing organic thing. When those guys are on, I can only imagine, and I have not gone to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers live, even though I like the band. I like their stuff. But I can only imagine from the clips, because I've watched a lot of live clips of that band. And man, it seems like it's an organic thing that they're just creating, and they get in that zone. I'm talking about the bass player, the guitar player, and the drummer. And it doesn't even matter. Rhonda, how you doing? Um, you know, it just, those guys are incredible. Oh, the street one. Okay. So Erickson, yeah, I mean, Trippy, that is a cool video. That's my favorite one. Well, the one with the street scenes and they're getting pulled by the school marms on the street. And then it cuts to the stage and there's girls on bicycles. Yeah, that's a cool AC/DC video. No, Freddie, man, you know what? Fire that thing up, dude. Don't be that's the thing, dude. I had two 412s, not in our last house in Nashville, because we've been a gradually kind of downside. I used to have a huge music room and just amps and everything, dude. And it just got like, look, man, I'm not going back out on the road. I don't need all this stuff. I'm not playing 6 nights a week. I'm playing 2 or 3 nights a week, and I'm making more money on those 2 or 3 nights. I'm getting paid a higher amount, but I didn't need, like, I mean, dude, there were times where I would be like because I would always use new strings, and I would have to string up at the beginning of the week, like on the day off. I'd take like 3 hours and string up 2 strats for each day. And then one day I might have like, I got a telly I'll throw in there as my backup for this one or whatever. But dude, I would have 6 or 7 guitars strung up so that I could rotate them in and out of the gig bag. So I didn't have to, the day of the show, I could rest and then go play the gig. BB King's in downtown Nashville was like that. We were playing hard, three or four sets a night, having to play the blues where you're that gut-wrenching style of blues, wears out strings. So, man, that's I don't need all that gear. And I would have multiple amps in case something tanked. I would have, a backup for the backup, and all of that stuff. And if I used a certain amp, I would always have at least 2, if not 3 of them. And sometimes 1 or 2 were, out of service, so then you're mixing and matching, with your backup stuff. It's a lot having all that stuff. And as it is now, I've got to clear out this room. I need to, the way that the thumbnail looks for this video, I thought that's how I want this room to look. I want it to look like a bar, like a bordello / like bar. That's just, it looks cool, man. And you know what? And this is my amateur way of imitating that. But man, I've got great plans. Yeah, it's a good guitar bar, dude. And I like that purple couch, old school, like a bordello couch. It just looks cool, man. So I don't know, man. What do you guys want to talk about? Get brick wallpaper. To Erickson, everybody does that, right? The brick wallpaper thing. A lot of guys have that. 5 guitars to gigs, 2 guitars in standard tune, 2 in D sharp and acoustic. Yeah, it's a lot, Keith. And I would always try to get it to where the gigs that I did, I would kind of have usually I could just play the whole thing on a Strat, and then if it was, if it was a band that played a lot of different styles of stuff, I'd have a Strat with a humbucker in the back in case I had to, pull out Don't Stop Believin' or some song where I need like a crunch. But schlepping is the word. It's not fun. And that's why, look, I would all love to have, had a 212 cab and a 50-watt head and all this kind of stuff. But man, I don't want to lug all that stuff, dude. Paint it deep purple. Yeah, that is kind of the look. I have to get that approved with the wife. But man, maybe if she sees that thumbnail, maybe she'll be like, Thank you, Lachlan Dean. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, Lachlan, we try to keep it clean, and we skirt around the issues. People know what we're talking about when we this is a channel that largely, for the most part, you can come and have a conversation, and we can imply that things are going on without being blunt and grotesque about it. We're all adults. We know the adult world. We know how things work, but we don't, Bo, and that's the reality of this channel. And look, man, I appreciate everybody's very opinionated on these things. Um, yeah, like exactly. Sometimes the parrot needs food for his beak. I mean, and that these are things, ways of explaining stuff. Uh, have they, Latchlin? What's so? Tell me, where are you? Tell me. I'm interested because I haven't seen your name pop up as much in terms of good vibes. Okay. Oh, I appreciate it, man. If you had a gig tonight, which two guitars would you take? Okay, that's a good question. Uh, I would probably, I would probably take this one. This was for a lot of my gigs in Nashville. I used the heck out of this guitar. Now I know it's a relic, right? And it's got like the chimps in the finish. Now I don't think this is a nitro finish, and this is not a particularly easy guitar. I mean, it's got a sort of wide, fat neck, but it's really stable. It stays in tune. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's already sort of pre-beat up. I've added some of this wear right in here or whatever, but this is a really good guitar. It's super reliable and sounds great. So this would be one of my first choices, and just something that looks like a Strat, that's got a humbucker in the back, and it's a solid guitar. It's not gonna have any problems. Um, as far as number two, because I would probably take this as a backup. This Ibanez, and it doesn't have got some different sounds on it, but this was only like a grand or so, and this is super reliable. Locking tuners, solid bridge, lots of different tones, and plays great, and kind of a similar semi-chunky neck on it. And this would be a guitar, man. Towards the end of my time in Nashville, I was playing this. This would be my number one choice on a lot of gigs, because I started realizing, man, that and not so much the gigs outside of town that I was doing, but man, like I had some really nice guitars, including that red one I just showed you, that got knocked over on gigs, huge dings in the neck. And so this one fell one time, and it's got the tuning peg is a little bent right there, but it still works. And I don't worry about this thing at all. And I got to where I actually like this for like wedding type gigs, because this humbucker here would be a lot darker and jazzier sounding if I had to play some of that, if I had to fake some of that stuff. So yeah, this thing, man, I tell you what, dude, it's not a guitar brand that you see a lot on stage in Nashville, but these are solid guitars, and I enjoy it. I mean, the new ones they've got that are $549, that's a heck of a deal. And I tell you what, Here's the thing, man. You got to watch it leaving gigs, these late night gigs. Imagine having a couple guitars. Let's say you had two of those Ibanez's, and those aren't, even if you got the new cheaper ones that's $549 each, that's $1,000 in guitars right there. And so if it got stolen, you'd be hurting, dude. You'd be bummed. Lose your gig bags and your two instruments, and those are the lower end price ones. But imagine if you had two of these, it'd be $2,000 gone. And man, people were getting jacked in Nashville leaving gigs. People had their stuff stolen, and that's just that's a reality of playing in a city. And there were times, dude, I started realizing when I was playing at BB King's that I did the math in my head roughly. And I would have like an amp like that, like a Dr. Z or a Fender or something like that. And I would be rolling that on a dolly with my pedal board, which was a pedal train that was about like that, soft case, and then two guitars, and then whatever else I had jammed in the pockets, cables and stuff like that. Man, if you add all that stuff up, you've literally got $3,000 or $4,000 of gear. You're rolling down the streets of Nashville. People are looking at you. I even had one of the guys that was singing in the band roll up on me, goes, "Give me your stuff." And I, of course I knew he was joking, but it kind of proved the point that, dude, this is not, when you're hauling through that crowd with that stuff, dude, you got to walk with purpose, and you got to have your eyes on a swivel, because man, there's people in those garages. The other day, somebody posted about a guy cruising around one of the garages, looking in cars and doing all that. Tim, what's happening? Tim Hardiman is in the house. It's gotten worse. He got jacked after a show a few weeks ago. Not a good scene downtown, man. Now see what I'm telling you guys? There is testimony right there from a guy who is there now. And I know, look, man, here's the thing, dude. It's dangerous. Like I said, I still follow all of my old friends in Nashville, and I keep an eye on what they're posting, and I keep an eye on the Broadway musician page and all that stuff. And I saw somebody I knew posted about a guy cruising around the parking garage. And look, man, they're not making it safe. Whatever it is, whoever's in charge, they're not making it safe down there. And as far as loading zone for the musicians, that was never heeded. The musicians union was, say, here's our parking and all this kind of stuff, and they were not taking care of that, making sure that it was always clear. It ended up being the Uber drivers and the taxi drivers parking in the loading zone so the musicians could never do it. The cops would never stand up for the musicians that were needing to unload their gear. And it's a free-for-all down there. It's a free-for-all. And dude, you know what? Stuff happens all the time that you never even hear about. There's Tim Hardiman telling us right there that something happened. His friend got jacked. So what happened? Was he a musician, Tim? Can you give us more details? Give us a few more details, man, because this is important stuff, man. This is, they had a white zone for musicians. They had its own like loading area, and they never kept it clear for the musicians. The taxi drivers would park there. The Uber drivers would park there. And if a musician tried to unload there, the cops would tell him to drive on. Yeah, well, that's the other thing, Steve. Imagine you're playing your gig. Somebody's buying you a couple of shots while you're playing. You're tired. You've had a couple of pops. And then you got to walk through the crowd with all that gear, and people are looking at you, and people are drunk. There's belligerent, homeless people downtown. Dude, I tell you what, I would feel safer in 1987 Los Angeles walking down the Sunset Strip with 2 guitars and a pedal board and a combo amp than I would in downtown Nashville, if that tells you something. Yeah, you need something, Freddie, but the gigs don't pay enough to pay somebody to do all that. They don't pay enough. But everybody's just trying to scrape. Here's the thing, man. And you watch once that Pat McDonald interview comes out, you watch, man. He describes the old Nashville. Here we go. Here's what he says. Dude was playing at one of the clubs, was headed to his car. In the garage, a car pulled up behind him, whipped out a GUM, and stole his rig. Fortunately, he wasn't hurt. Do you see that, guys? This is a man, and Tim, I'm gonna say it, a man who worked in the music industry and entertainment business for decades, that I've known for decades. And he's telling you what happened to somebody. Direct information. So yeah, that is the weird thing was, dude got his plates and the car. Yep. Well, there's the other thing. When these people are committing these crimes, and this was the old trick they did back in the day. The first thing they do is they take a car, because then they've got some plates, right? And then they can just go grab something, then dump the car later. So this is, I mean, dude, I can honestly say I walked up and down Hollywood Boulevard with my guitar on my back going to school. And I would, to be honest, and it was, dude, this was the 80s, and it was wild out there, and there was homeless, and there was crazy stuff, and street kids, and addicts and all that, and Scientology and all that. Honestly, it's still safer than probably currently downtown Nashville is. Honestly, it probably is. So, you know what, man? I'm glad that you came on and gave us that information, because that's the reality. So, Keith, you've seen some nasty crowd fights. You're talking about downtown Nashville? Because I want to, look, I'll stay a little bit longer. Wasn't like this 10 years ago. You couldn't pay me to go down there, man. So see, look at this. Nashville has gradually progressed to where look, we used to not go downtown. Like, I was a type of musician, player in town, that the only time I say I will not go downtown when it's fanfare, when it's CMA Fair or Fan Fest or whatever, that fanfare or whatever they decide to call it this week. That was the time of year we said, don't go downtown. It's full of tourists. Don't want to go hang out with tourists. No offense. In Nashville, you used to go in, I'd go downtown and I'd see 4 or 5 people that I know. And it was this small, like, kind of community of musicians and players and people and all that. And now it's just absolute madness down there, to where I would go down there because my wife would want to go have dinner at, Miranda's or whatever down there. But, I would honestly, I'm cool if I don't ever go down there, because it's just too much. And man, grab and dash and rehearsal garages. Yeah, dude, I've heard of people renting those, what is that app where one of those, rental apps, they rent the apps, and people were going and robbing people, checking into their, whatever those things are, where you rent a condo for the weekend or whatever. It's really scary, man, because they're not protecting people. Nothing has changed. Bourbon Street and BB Show, yeah. Yeah, it's a clown show. Well, see, back what Tim was talking about. I used to play Bourbon Street Blues Bar. Back then, Nashville it wasn't guaranteed it was going to be packed, except maybe Fridays and Saturdays. And we used to go down there and play the clubs. And some nights we'd be lucky if 20, 30 people showed up. We were grinding, dude. We were grinding in there, and I would be happy if I had 60 or 70 bucks at the end of the night after paying my bar tab. And the town has exploded. And yeah, now guys are down there making bank, playing these gigs, but the price of living is off the charts. So you're just going to be down there grinding. I mean, dude, back in the day, I'd have a crappy apartment, $350 a month. So I said, I only got to play $300 gigs and a $50 gig to pay my rent. It's how I would literally think. Or hey, I could play $200 gigs on Saturdays and my rent's covered. That's how I used to think. But now, dude, I got to work 6 days, 7 days a week, and I have to make a certain amount of money each night to make the rent. And man, it's tough. It's rough down there, dude. Then on the weekend to get ramen, yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, and look, here's the thing, man. Bands and trailers get broken into all the time. And insurance may or may not pay for it. I'm not sure that if my personal gear had been stolen on the road because I didn't have personal insurance on what was on the road, I'm not sure that the artist would have called that in and gotten insurance for it, because technically I owned it. It was my stuff. So look, and not to bash on Nashville, but man, they got to do a better job there of making the place safe, dude. And I'll agree with Tim. It's turned into broettes and Hawk Tuah wannabes and douche. It's become mindless. And it used to be, I could go downtown and run into Tim, or I'd run into the drummer for Jason Aldean, or I'd run into somebody at Roberts, or I'd go down to Third and Lindsley and I'd see people that I knew, and it was a small community of. But now, man, it's a bunch of rats fighting to survive down there, and I know guys out there doing it. Big D, how you doing? We are in a little bit of overtime, but man, this has been a great episode. And like I said, not to poop on Nashville at all. I got lots of friends still gigging there. And look, you can go to Nashville and have a good time and avoid the nonsense. Yeah, Keith, I agree with you. For me personally, it's too crazy. I'm not sure that there is a next, Bo. I think they do have to clean up Nashville to make it tolerable. I think it needs to be safe. Look, if the gambling parties and the bachelorette parties and the bros and the dudes and whatever. I think everybody needs to be on a little bit smarter and better behavior. Just because, so there's Leah. Very true, Brad. I hate what my hometown has become. Not sure there's any turning back now. Yeah, I can't see. Look, in some ways, I'm starting to feel like talking with Pat McDonald today. He doesn't want any part of what Nashville's become. And we were there when he was saying he was playing. He would go down on a Monday and play these little Starlight Lounge and places like that. And he'd be playing with Willie Nelson's, guitar player, and, Waylon's steel player, and all these iconic road sidemen and stuff like that. That whole old scene, those old timers, the guys that actually used to get on stage and actually play every night, that's all gone. It's turned into this other thing that it is now. And there is no moments of improvisation on stage and people, doing things. Everything's just dick, 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 and everybody's locked into the machine. And Bo, I hear you. But you know what? Hey, an open mic would be good compared to some of the stuff. And I have heard things, Abby, about Austin, and I can't speak on it because I don't have, I've only, I think, played there twice back in the day, but it's always been a music town. But, I think there is something to be with, we get older and we don't have any tolerance now for the nonsense. I don't want, when I was young, I wanted to go to Bourbon Street and the French Quarter and act like a lunatic. And if I was young now, I would want to be playing downtown Nashville. But man, here's the thing. It is more dangerous than LA was. And LA was very dangerous back when I went there. But dude, I mean, here's the thing, man. I just see it's just it's a different vibe now. I don't think people are looking out for people. I don't, I just feel like it's a different world we live in now. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I hear you, Abby. I used to knock them back, dude, but I have other priorities now. One of my priorities is getting up each day and, spreading this message of this channel, man, that we are on the back nine of life and we can thrive and have a good time. And man, I'm interviewing. Here's the thing, man. Pat acknowledged it today. Doing these interviews and getting these stories. Like, there's nobody interviewing Pat McDonald from Charlie Daniels Band. There's nobody else doing that because, he technically might not get enough clicks. I'm going to be that guy that's going to let these people tell their story. I am Captain Willard, and I'm going downriver to get an interview. I'm talk to Kurtz and find out if his methods are unsound. And I'm going to document this and bring it back to you. So hearing these stories, dude, it just dawned on me talking to him. Yeah, CDB, dude, Charlie Daniels is a rare, rare human being. An amazing, never get out of the boat, Michael. Yes. Here's the thing, the stories, dude. And that's the thing, man. I've got to rack my brain and reach into my mental Rolodex and contact guys like Pat and go, hey, man, I want to get you on my channel. And you know what, dude, he literally goes, when do you want to do it? I said, what about tomorrow? He goes, and it was like, dude, I had just in the back of my mind thought, well, what about if I talk to Pat? Phil, well, you know what? Who knows what'll happen in the future? We keep building this channel and maybe we will come to Indy. Abby, thank you so much. Yeah, there's amazing stories. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Keith Howland interview, lead guitarist for Chicago for 27 years. I'm going to head on out. I want to thank everybody, Erickson, Paul, Mike, P-Funk, Rhonda, everybody that's been here, Wave, everybody that's been a part of this, Phil. Yeah, we'll be there tomorrow morning. Leah, thank you. Lauren, thank you. Chris, thank you. Keith, thank you. Mark, thank you. FMP, thank you. Abby, thank you. Everybody. Tina, thank you for being here tonight. Rhonda, everybody, man. Freddie B, Reverse Flash, man. Thank you, everybody. This has been an amazing. Ace is doing better. Chris, Synthetic, have a good night, everybody. I'm headed out. Dan, Scott, everybody have a great night, man. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. P-Funk interview coming soon.